I'd like to talk to you about baseball. When I was a kid, we went to Alabama to visit my grandma. Sometimes you get bored because there wasn't a lot to do there. I didn't have a lot of toys there, and I didn't have a lot of friends there either. And the swimming pool was only open some of the time, and we couldn't go every day anyway, because after all, it cost a dime to get in, and that was a lot of money. And so you had to entertain yourself. Well, one of the ways that I entertained myself was to play baseball. Now, I wasn't playing baseball with other people. I was playing baseball with myself. The way it worked, I got a tennis ball, and then I got out and stood on the sidewalk in front of the front steps of the house. The steps are over there, and I would throw the baseball against the steps, and then I would react to whatever happened. And based on what happened, I would carry on a whole baseball game, 9 innings in my head with 2 teams. And sometimes I would even have players' names attached to who was up. You know, sometimes a certain guy would be up. You know, Babe Ruth is up. Be careful, he's going to get a home run. Well, here's the way it worked, as I recall, and I'm thinking I'm recalling correctly. I would throw the ball, and if the ball came back to me and bounced at least once on the ground, I would try to catch it. That would be a single, and a runner would run to first, and I would remember that there was a runner on first. And if I threw another single, then another runner would be on first, and the first runner would move to second. And then if I threw the ball against the steps and I missed it, but it was on the ground, it bounced or rolled along the ground, and I missed it, then that would be a double. And that way everybody would advance 2 bases, and if somebody went into home base, that would be a home run. I mean, that would be 1 run, not a home run. That would be 1 run for whatever team happened to be up. I even gave the teams names, although right now I can't remember what the names were. Then if you threw the ball and you missed it and it went across the road, remember, Grandma lived right in front of a highway. It wasn't too busy, but if it went across the road, then that would be a triple. And I'd check for traffic both ways and run across and get it and continue the game. And if you got a triple and there were runners on base, of course, they would be batted in, and that would be more runs for that team. Now, the way you got an out was by catching the ball if it didn't touch the ground. And so you would throw it, and it would be a line drive coming right at you, or off to the right or off to the left. And you'd try to catch it before it hit the ground. And if you caught it before it hit the ground, then that was an out. And 3 outs would retire the side. And so that made a lot of sense. Now, to get a home run, if you threw the ball and it hit, sometimes the ball would hit the edge of the shelf, right on the edge, right out here. And if it hit just right, it would go boom, and it would go way up in the air, and it would go over my head, and there's no way that you could even catch it. Even if you said, "Go, Go Gadget Arms," you still couldn't catch it. Back then, nobody knew who Go, Go Gadget was. And it would usually go out into the road or across the road when that happened. Because I didn't throw them easy, I threw pretty hard. And if that happened, that would be an automatic home run. And the home run, everybody would come in. And you'd continue the game until each side played 9 innings and 3 outs per side, and then the game would be over. And I kept track, all of this in my head, how many runs each team had, where they were in the game, and even if Grandma suddenly called me in for a sandwich or for lunch, I would remember all that and go out and continue the game later. And I would do that for hours and hours and hours because, well, there wasn't all that much to do. And so that was one of the ways I entertained myself. I'll tell you some other ways in another story.